Greetings. This is the Draconian. Greetings to your society. Greetings to your human development. Yeah, there's empires or Draconian empires that have been seeding this earth for a great time. You can say you can thank your swamps, wetlands for them. Of course, you feel like some of you got messages of some alien beings, rather the desert, which is true. Some prefer that because the swamps can cause too much interference. They can get easily blocked in those areas. So you have more of your there is actually alien bases in your swamp areas. A lot of it is in your Amazon River. A lot of it is in India, Indonesia. Indonesia is a heavy alien area. One of the reasons why I had an earthquake there some time ago, I believe it was in 2004. So, yes, there's a lot of diverse energies here, as you can see. But there is an awakening, of course. It will start to increase where human collective will take us more seriously. There's a little bit offset, of course, but it comes in waves, you can say. But if there's any questions, please, whenever you're ready. Blessings.
Greetings, welcome.
Greetings.
Well, I didn't have anything specifically on mind, but I'd like to know more about the Draconian origins in this universe and the collectives that you're connected to.
Yeah, I was thinking that right after I was going to mention that after I asked people for questions. But yes, a lot of Draconians come from like a red reptilian race. They're very advanced. Some of them are in Orion, but a lot of it comes from your outer regions of your universe, whereas they're a wizard people. Wizard beings have always been throughout other universes. This universe, they've gotten more aggressive. They've gotten more superiority complex. You can say it has a lot to do with the center of the universe, where it became more of a troubled zone. Kind of like Orion, but 1,000 times worse. Basically, the center of the universe is where a lot of beings are created. And one of them, beings were just, if you can visualize that, and that's where a lot of the reptilians, or obviously many other beings came through, but that's where a lot of the origins of the reptilian beings came. And for your Earth's origins, yeah, of course, it's mentioned. For Draco, a lot of beings were been seated in Draco. Draco became part of just. That is where they evolved. That's where their energy. It might not even be physical energy. It's just energy beings just found Draco and created it. You can say part of God's energy, of course. So just Draco, at least for your area, is where we preside. Yes, one of them. A lot of those in Orion. And of course, you have little offshoots throughout the universe, of course. We do bother the felines a lot. We just know how to get under their skin. But they've gotten stronger ever since we started to give them hell. But other beings have caused them difficulties too. That's a little bit on us.
Interesting, yeah, because I was wondering, like, what kind of creator beings were you connected to? Like, we're with the Anunnaki and Elohim, but it seems like it was organically through spirit.
Yes, it was.
Right.
We evolved through different beings, through birds. We evolved from also different, just very different. Basically, yeah, we just evolved from spirit. That is the most part. Other beings have helped us, like the carrion beings or the bird beings help weaponize us. So that's why they said they created us, but we were already created way before they ever interacted with us. So
more like they made you instead of created you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, like you make a super soldier.
Oh, very cool. Thank you very much.
Well, we filled in where a lot of birds cannot do, because they have wings, and what can you do with that? You can fly, but they're not really structured for arms. Some have arms, most don't. That's why you don't hear about them too much, but they have learned how to transform into human form. but they're still working on that. Well, what we did is reptilian beings are, we like many beings are very attractive in the universe. Of course, we see ourselves as, we are the ones that are most attractive, but other races don't see us that way. So we kind of brought a lot of the beings down from their high horse of what beauty looks like. We're one of them. The insectoids did the same thing. We're more aggressive about it, though. Think we're beautiful too, even if we do sleep in the mud.
But I was just listening. I think you were talking about before how humans are considered quite beautiful. Not perhaps by you guys.
Yeah, I don't believe I said that.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was meant. Yeah, the reptilian beings that are very colorful. Yeah, those are more of your supermodels. Iguanas are supermodels. Some of them are.
Oh, they're sexy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have different tastes, I think.
Yeah, and there's your wizards, even your large wizards here that crawl around. They're pretty mellow compared to a lot of, and we need that because some of reptilians become like so aggressive they don't know how to get rid of it.
Mm.
Well, that's the warrior race. We've been conquered before, and we said that's not going to happen ever again. And then we get out of control, and then we can't stop like drugs.
Well, I think that's something that we're helping you with, isn't it?
Yes and no.
Oops.
Your world, I think sometimes it adds to it. It's like, geez, you guys want us to be aggressive, don't you? Just asking for more, aren't you? Some people do, at least. Like with the riots. So we have toned down quite a bit since we've been here.
Who are the white lizards with the wings that we've heard about?
Some of them are from Orion. Some of them are from Sirius. Actually, quite a few of them are from Sirius. I don't really go into their full origins. They're more monitoring things. I don't feel like they're really interfering much. Because that's what they say they are. Most beings are monitoring, but a great deal is from Sirius. But there are some here that are aggressive, but they're more connected to the oceans or the water in our world. Water bases.
Okay, so sorry to change this subject a bit, but I kind of wanted to talk about my experiences right now when I kind of go into a trance meditation or just going into meditation. So some things had changed for me a couple months ago, and I am now seeing when I get into this certain place, frequency, vibration, whatever, I see like a spiral when I'm meditating, and through this spiral, I could either go in, or it seems like maybe beings can come through me. It may not necessarily or come through the spiral. I just wanted more information, I guess, about what is going on and like why did it change, or I think you can get it.
You're taking more hold of who you are. You're not always, of course, who knows who they are really, but it seems like you're getting more of an idea of that. So you mean beings that are like flying through you? Is that what you're talking about?
No, so it's okay. So I see a lot of visuals, and when I get into a meditation, it's literally like there's this very tight spiral that I see right in front of me when I close my eyes. And I could focus in on it, and sometimes I could go into either I talked to Ivan about this before, but either I will go into other people's bodies or other dimensions, but also others beings come through it. It's weird. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out it's like a portal. I don't know though.
Yeah, it's astral projection.
Okay.
So you're connecting to these different beings to learn from them. So those that you're connecting to, You've been connecting to an astral in your sleep state. Now you're doing it in this awakened state. Say, hey, look, I learned something new.
Oh.
All right. So it seems like you're coming to them. So you're not always aware of what you're doing.
No.
It's kind of like that TV show, was it Quantum Leap? When he leaps into somebody. That's
I
kind of
need to
what you're doing.
I need to watch that show the second time.
So
Yes.
it's kind of like you're doing that, but you don't remember what's going on. So I see that you're there for a long time. You're there talking to those people. It's kind of like a walk-in, yeah. I think I see you there as a couple of days with some of those people, and you might just see it as a minute or less. So yeah,
that's mind blowing to me right now.
That's what I see. Yeah, you're channeling through people to assist them in their lives on different realities.
I've been trying to control this more because I'm trying to know more about Sirius and kind of more of what what I'm doing, you know. So how is there any advice on how I can control this? Because I try and do other things.
Well,
I do set intentions.
Well, it's something that you kind of have to go with the flow of it. I mean, you can ask them where you are. Anybody here can speak to me while I'm here for 2 seconds. And they won't always do that because you're not always meant to know. You just kind of feel it out. The more you do it, the better you'll get. It's like riding a bike. So,
okay. Yeah, I've been practicing.
I feel a lot of energy coming from Orion, actually. You're in Orion's belt, you're connected to the middle star. So I believe there's a red star there somewhere. I think you avoid that one, but yeah, you're going to, and when you do all this, I'm going to call astral projection. Everyone's going to have a different point of view of this, but it feels like you're doing a lot of Andromedan connections too. You're going to Andromeda a lot with this. So some of these people that you're connecting to, you're giving them knowledge of Earth. So you're actually giving them, sometimes you're on a ship from what it seems like. If that's helpful.
It's hard because I'm trying to make more sense of it and I'm not getting much clues. Like even my guides aren't really I'm not getting too much information, to be honest, as much as I'm asking.
Well, you can ask all day long and they're going to just say, she's not going to tell her that.
I guess so, just like let go and go with the flow.
Yeah, you're looking for more than we say. Just do it as, just have fun with it. You're already doing that, but part of you wants to go deeper. It's like what are you trying to do here? They're all looking at you like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So the more you go fluid with it, you just I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, I'm feeling, what am I feeling? Eventually they'll give you more information about what's going on.
Okay.
So they don't want to interfere with your reality here too. It has a lot to do with it. They don't want calling you somebody else. Like, oh, I'm Susie Q now. I'm not who I used to be. So not that that's going to happen, but
I've also started doing that as well, except for I feel like I have more control over it. I can be out in the front yard at night and I can concentrate on something that's flying in the air, and I believe I'm catching them off guard.
Yes.
When I actually see what they are, and then they're like, oh, you can see us. We're going to change into something really weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you just step up and have the intestinal fortitude to tell me who you are? Well, am I catching that correctly?
Well, yeah, but it's like showing up to someone's dinner party when we're not invited. I mean, how would you feel if somebody did that? Just walked into your house and just sat down, just activated your microwave, and all of a sudden you have Thanksgiving dinner on a Tuesday night. So that's why they felt that's okay if you did that, but that's what they, yeah, that's okay. Keep doing it.
Well, it doesn't seem to stop them. I mean, they seem to like to fly around.
They'll get used to it. Yeah, they'll get used to that. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they're cool with it. Yeah.
Are they looking for a specific thing, or are they part of a specific like military group or?
Do you feel military with them? Well, there's
Yes.
well, there's all aliens are beings. Well, let's put it this way: alien beings that are flying around. There are always going to be some kind of military something there. So it doesn't mean it's because they have to be careful what they do here. So it doesn't mean they're part of the human military, but they are kind of part of its grid, its checkpoints, you can say. So, but it does seem like you do check into actual human military that's going on right now. It seems the secret space program stuff. That's what it seems like you're tapping into, from what I can pick up. At least that's the.
Am I going into a higher dimension?
Oh yeah. I feel like there's a layer one. You go to different layers, so you can put your intentions to go further into seeing the things that you've heard about. You know, things that David Wilcock and them talked about. I believe you can tap into that type of stuff if you want to. It might take some time to get used to it.
Okay.
But over time, then you can even
Yeah.
check what he says. Like, wait a minute, you said about this? Let me check. See if it's exactly what it's
I'm ready. I just feel like I'm being stopped.
Join the club.
It's like somebody's stopping me.
Well, yeah, that's we just say keep doing it, and eventually you'll get around all that. They can't guard everything.
Cool.
But, yeah, welcome to the club. How many Draconians
Thank you.
just land their ships on everyone's lawn, the White House lawn, to say how's it going, everybody? Obviously, nobody's allowed to do that right now. There have been attempts. Even there's always attempts. Sometimes there's weather anomalies that happen. You don't see the ship, but sometimes strange weather comes in. Or we're talking about Washington, DC. But yeah, strange weather happens, that means there was probably an attempt for contact. At this point, they don't care.
Yeah, I get some really funky looking clouds, really strange looking clouds.
That doesn't mean that they're trying to land, but yeah, that means there's a lot of activity there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've even said to someone, hey, if you're going to land in the front yard because I've got some acreage, just don't take down the cherry tree.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that or do any. Yeah, they're not trying to tear anything down. A reptilian ship's a different story, but reptilians are kept way off the Earth. You can have your grays. Grays are more allowed to connect to humans than reptilians right now. So they just seem to have that. I don't know. They're just more behaved, you can say. It's, well, yes and no on that.
And so why have you guys been going to this channel to contact us recently?
Because we don't get enough love from the people.
Knowing the little I know about your society, love is not high on your list of priorities.
It is love. It's just not what people want.
Domination and love go hand in hand.
Well, it's a battlefield. It's a contest. I mean, we're learning to calm ourselves down, but then again, there's always somebody that's out of control. But yeah, we do get, like anybody else, get tired of war ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Make friends with the Palladians.
That's happened. Well, not with all of us, but a lot of Draco being or reptilians, but Dracos don't feel like Palladians are all that. They're just all flash, no substance. Sometimes you get impressed, but that's not very often.
When I've been thinking about Dracos these days, my thoughts have been dominating, keeping us down, keeping the program going, and my internal self goes, well, yes, but domination is not where you want to be, because domination means you're depending on somebody to be subservient in order to have a sense of value. That means it depends on the other person doing something rather than having a sense of value for yourself.
That's true. But also, well, if your human race became like everybody, most of your human race would acknowledge our existence, we'll be here in a second. or before that. But most people are just so they just can stay in the control grid. And so they're a lot of times it's for the best because when humans start seeing us and all our beauty, they just start feeling sick and just can't handle it.
It's because you're too beautiful. Yeah.
There's some of you be like, we can't get you away from us. It's like, geez, get away from me.
So do you have a lot of mirrors around in your place?
Us? No.
Yeah, no?
We don't need mirrors. We just know.
You just know. Oh my God.
Some of the females have mirrors, yeah, because they do they have picked up some of the female energies here. Yeah, they have to make sure they look good, you know. The males are like, the hell are you doing?
Shine their scales.
Why? Just
that happens here too, by the way.
yeah, we're just well, yeah, I mean it's adolescence too from our race too. We're still this universe, if we become friendly and you know, you can invite us to Thanksgiving, that means your universe is kind of calming down too. It's getting less aggressive because your universe is aggressive too. It's not just us.
It's not just you. Yeah, but I mean, you also help bring that to us. So, you know, people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a softie, but not everyone wants to be a softie.
Well, let's put it this way: our energies are there to help human race. Like if they can get out of control, we can just turn that knob up for them, help them out with that to get it out of their system. So,
well, except you helped put it in our system in the first place.
Well, that's actually evolution in general.
Okay.
I mean, you would have had it. I mean, a lot of higher dimensional beings have that too. So it's not just us.
Well.
Blame God.
So we'll stop blaming you for everything.
Yeah, we get blamed for everything. We get blamed for, of course, a lot of that is justified. It's like, yeah, you're probably right. It's our fault, but that's all right.
But it's noble that you don't blame the Carrions. But there is probably
well, we don't think they're that strong. That's why. I mean, no, they are, but not. You know, you're a Carrion. You're not talking to a Carrion right now, are you?
It sounds like there's the aggressive agenda here.
Yeah, they're part of it, but they're not.
It's like they're the source for the Draco's aggression, but who's the source for their aggression? It's trying to just find the source of it all and trying to heal that.
Well, yeah, because it's the center of your universe.
Okay.
The universe is created. That universe had a lot of things here that was missing in other universe. This universe wanted to feel like it was superior to others. So it's not just us.
So it's Prime Creator we gotta have a conversation with.
Or Prime Creators. It's not just one.
Interesting.
Gods. There's not just one.
I know for multiple universes, but for this one there's multiple Prime Creators.
Yeah, there's multiple God beings here, yes.
That's why I see different personalities and different channelings of him. Or her.
Correct. Him and her. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
You have to imagine this is like the public garden of the universe. Everybody comes here to plant some seeds and everybody has to come check them. So of course they have to be like different creators.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Some beings create the blueberries.
You can see it in the DNA of the creatures and everything. Yeah. I had a question. I've been looking into labyrinths and patterns like the ones you see in these French cathedrals, that they look like a crop circle, you know, to give a general example.
That's
and
true.
Yeah, I've been following those designs, and I love this series from Netflix called The Code. It's so interesting because it talks about how they use mathematics. Like mathematics is basically what organizes the whole universe and how everything is connected. And this particular symbols, these patterns, these labyrinths, I've been seeing them in places that, you know, that's so unlikely. Like, for example, Bitcoin, like there's a connection there that I've been trying to figure out. And at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to know? Because I had this feeling like if I know, I'm gonna freak out. So it's like I go around it, but everything gets me like back to this subject. So
Well, Bitcoin, yes, that's all numbers. That's code. It's created by code.
of course, yeah.
And that's even different than your paper money. Paper money is not made by code. I mean, made by the little dots and dot matrices. But yeah, Bitcoin is another, look at it as a vortex, a portal into your world. So beings can come through that as Bitcoin beings, energy. Some is good, some isn't. So it's another gateway into your world. So of course it's going to be manipulated. Even the elites don't fully understand it. Even the elites feel like that might be the end of them because the cryptocurrency might just really come out of. They don't always know. Sometimes the elites don't even know who's going to come and destroy them because they're, yes, there's different ones, but it's like sometimes like things can get a little bit too good for them. It's like, is this the end of us? So,
you know, when Lisa was talking earlier, she made a good point when she mentioned the spirals, the swirls. I think, you know, she is onto something because we're gonna see that often. It's gonna increase. If there's a connection, there's a soul connection. It's like a code that binds us all together. And I've had dreams of it's strange, like a maelstrom, also a swirl in the water. And I don't know if I went through it, and someone in the dream told me like it's safe to go through it. But I see this maelstrom, like but it's like a portal. And I'm like, I don't want to go, but if I go, it's something like I'm gonna discover something new about myself, like to give an explanation. So spirals is something that I mean, if they want to look into it and understand it, it could help them understand a lot of other things. I believe.
Well, yeah, the circle, the energies of it they have different layers to it. And there's timelines to when portals and downloads are brought in. Right, so you have a download. There's just timelines for when you get information, just like when a phone is created or an invention is invented. It's already kind of in the Earth's timeline, but it has not reached you yet. Some souls have, and you're kind of connected to this too, where you connect to the future before anybody else does. And that's not always exciting. Sometimes it's like real exciting, and then it's like, damn. I'm alone here.
It can get really, I feel as like in the last couple of months I've isolated even more because just trying to be social has become very bizarre for me. It's like, am I even speaking the same language? And it has nothing to do with knowing like who knows more than anyone. It's like we are together in the same place, but we are not. Like there's this huge barrier like around us, and everyone is experiencing it to some level, I believe, in this whole quarantine thing. So and the reason I mentioned Bitcoin is not only because of the coding, it's because have you seen the physical ones? They are like a crop circle.
Yes.
And then I don't want, but I will probably. I'm gonna crash into that reality. Sometimes when I use Google Earth and I see these same patterns, not only in like an archaeological site or something tribal. No, I see this in supposed farms. I see the huge crop circle, and they say, "Oh no, that's made with a machine. It's like a circular crop thing." I'm like, sure. But always in specific strategic places. And when I see that the Bitcoin, and I see this old labyrinth, I'm like, this is very weird. There's something here, something that changes our reality in some way when this is made.
Well, it's similar to your dollar bill, how it has images on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's all this secret society nonsense doing on a dollar bill? Well, yeah, they're trying to some beings are trying to control Bitcoin. Others are trying to heal it. So there's different crop circle energies there. Yes.
Yeah, that's like, okay, I don't want to like demonize Bitcoin, but there's some manipulation there, like very like dangerous.
Some of that's Draco or Reptilian. Yeah, it's nanotechnology that's coming in too.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Okay.
So, yeah, the Earth is becoming more computerized, and your human race is doing a very good job of that. Well, you're always going to have part of your race controlled, for now at least. It's just like computers are controlled by you, and who's controlling your race, your human race, like a computer. I mean, you just put stuff in your media, and just people are like, "Oh, it's this. We have the knowledge." It's like, right, whatever.
Yeah.
Programmed, complete.
There was something else I really wanted to ask, and I swear they sucked it out of my brain. So I just kind of, I guess I couldn't bring it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, you are connected to future timelines.
This is terrible.
And it's like when some inventors build a car that's way advanced than anybody. You're kind of doing that.
I'm gonna tone it down then. Okay, thank you.
Well, you can do whatever you want. It's your sanity, so you can choose what you want with it.
Right. Thanks.
But yeah, you can calm things down. Yeah.
By the way, I like reptilians. I don't see what the problem with other people with reptilians are awesome too. Like it's like, oh, everyone, oh, those are demons. What demons? Have you seen how humans act sometimes? Like, come on, there's everything.
That's well, they love. Yeah, it's a long story there, but yeah, it's.
I think I'm part reptilian. What the hell? Exactly.
Well, you come more. I mean, people that are not afraid of us have come. They balance themselves out. They're just not afraid. Most people don't even know themselves.
They're afraid to see how reptilian they are too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that we can bring out more of their truth.
Yes.
And who the hell wants that?
That makes sense.
They don't want to know. They want to know more. They're part of the Earth program, and some of them it's like you have to go back into the program. It's safer there.
Put me back to sleep, okay?
Pretty much.
Right. Thank you.
Now you do it. All right.
I think it was Anna that mentioned the spiral, and I have this. I see spirals too, but it's not very exciting. I was wondering. Oh, you have something to say on that?
Well, is it something that does it come to you automatically, or is it something that you
see? Whenever I meditate, like I can see it's a green spiral.
Well, it's up to you where you want to go. If you want to pursue it, I believe others are looking further into it. You can call it like the circle of life. You can say that you're connected to. It's there if you want to go further. So, that's what I can see with it.
Since I haven't been bringing up octopus and squid stuff, can you tell me about my octopus or squid DNA %, and also my Draco DNA %?
Well, I believe it's octopus. I say it's more 5-10%. Well, you have like 5 or 10% Orion. You can look at it that way. There's another part of that question, wasn't there? Oh, your reptilian side is about 5 or 10% also. So your octopus side, obviously they have not gone further into their who they are. Octopus can connect to many souls at once, like many beings. Like if you're walking into a store, they can instantly connect to almost everybody in that store, just vibrationally. An octopus being, or someone that's connected to that octopus vibration. There's other beings that can do, but they can do it at the fourth dimension. They can do it even in the third dimension. That's why some people are so sensitive. Not that they have all octopus, but there are beings that are just very sensitive to their environment. Kind of like being a tree. But being an octopus, they usually have a higher sensory than most beings. It's just the way they're developed.
Is that kind of similar to like spider? And also was wondering why scorpions are kind of related and they're associated with Mars, at least in astrology.
Because they come from the planet Mars. Scorpions are think about a very large scorpion. Like you see on TV. That looks cute until you're living it. Those aren't fun to deal with. But Yeah, they're just those are I wouldn't call them aggressive beings, but when you mess with them, that's just the end of it. Usually, they're usually protector beings too. So, but yeah, Mars is just being that they have that scorpion energy just to protect themselves or to attack somebody. It's like sometimes you have that energy just to your sensory to pick up predators. Some women have that, some men have it. You know, predators are people normally, but some people take it to a whole. Like some people that throw someone out of a window or do something like a rat. That's a scorpion energy.
Ivan's been bringing up the moon lately, also. So that's something I'm very connected with. And you tell us more about the moon?
You're connected more to like the true moon, not the manipulative moon. No, there is a moon that is causing a lot of difficulties here. Yes, but you're connected to more of the nature, the natural energy of the true being called itself the moon or calls itself. It's just basically your energy is there to preserve life. You're not always agreeing who's there and doing what they need to do, but it's like you're keeping the moon where it's at. You and others. Those that feel like they're connected to the moon, you're keeping it, they're keeping this projection going. People want to call it computerized, but call it whatever you want.
In which dimension is this true moon visible?
Fourth dimension.
Am I part of this true moon, or am I connected to the Matrix moon?
Both.
I
I
thought
believe the Matrix is more interesting right now.
kind of, yeah. Actually, second question I wanted to ask is like, so I know, like I've got my Mars planet is in Cancer, which is kind of called like the werewolf position, and I kind of feel like I'm asking if I have connection to like werewolves and things like that, because sometimes I feel like I have phantom calls, so to speak. So I don't know if you could tap into that.
Oh, man, you feel like you hear them, or
No, I've been like connected because sometimes I feel like I have like phantom claws or something like my astral body.
phantom claw? Like you have claws? Am I reading this?
Yeah,
right?
like my hands are like larger than they actually are.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what? This is why I got a little bit confused what you're saying, because I feel like part of you kind of hears them. They're here,
well,
and that comes from Sirius. Yeah, I believe you have the ability to turn into one. Actually, I see you more as a vampire.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not the one that's sucking everyone's energy, but
No.
I believe you have been a vampire. The werewolf, well, this is my perspective. At least I believe you have been a wolf in your past, but it feels like as a vampire being is where obviously you and the wolves didn't get along so well.
Right.
And I believe you're very protected because you weren't like a vampire biting everybody or have a civilization. I mean, some do.
Right.
There's a whole different mythology on that, but
Yeah.
but it's part. Yeah, you're just seeing the claws on your hands. Yeah.
And that's
So
is that connected to werewolves or is it something different?
it does feel like it is connected to wolves. Do you feel like it's still connected to wolves as we bring up the vampire information?
Kind of. I'm still not quite exploring that. I kind of put it down because it felt like it feels kind of clumsy when I'm trying to handle things. It feels like I'm poking through things I'm not supposed to.
Okay, well, here, it feels like you're a shapeshifter being where you can turn into a werewolf and a vampire being.
Mm.
And that is actually connected to even the Dracula mythology in your world, where you can turn into a wolf.
Mm.
So, yes, you were being a book. I believe your inner core was more vampire, but you did, I feel it's just more. I just feel the vampire like it's right here in front of me.
Okay.
Whereas that's probably the Draco side of you, but the wolf was definitely, you can shapeshift to both.
I have a Draco side.
Well, that's Draco's. Yeah, a little bit.
I've been told I was more Zeta. Like
there's it's more. Well, you've had dealings with Dracos.
What's that?
You've had dealings with Dracos, so plenty of those. You've had more than you want to write home about. If you want blockage, that's your blockage.
Draco
Well,
blockage?
oh yeah, Draco blockage, yeah, because you've been, Dracos have space stations, and you and your people have infiltrated it many times. Even shut it down. Jeez.
So I should be connecting to the Draco to unleash blockages?
Well, your Zeta side connecting to reptilians, if you want. That is a blockage there, though. That's for sure. You'll wonder why. Part of you doesn't want to be found by them, it seems. It's like.
Yeah, I guess in the way I am, because I know I'm kind of sensitive. Like, when I have lots of spirits around here, I tend to be a bit sensitive to that. Like, not negative or positive, it's just when it's not around me.
Well, you're definitely not afraid of them, that's for sure.
No.
Well, wonder where that comes from.
Yeah.
Because of interaction, that's why.
True. Like, I don't really see Drake. I think some Dracos can be intimidating, but as a whole, I think average speaking, they're not that intimidating.
It's not that important for you right now. It's not part of your.
Right.
It's not. Yeah, you have other things to look into.
Look, I see kind of I kind of see in the Reptilians as sort of like almost like grunts, I guess.
Well, I see yours. Well, some people are absolutely terrified of any reptilian being, or like reptilians.
Right.
You kind of got over that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there's more of a positive alliance with you have with them, a neutral alliance, you can say.
Yeah, I'd say neutral. There's some Reptilians I feel neutral around, but even then,
it's like you're over it and moved on to other things.
Yeah.
Still terrified of our presence.
I feel like I'm looking at a different Orion group, a different elites or something.
Well, I tell you also. Well, one of your connections is Asian. I'm not sure if you're aware of that part.
Kind of. I kind of felt like a draw to like Mongolia.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're more part of even secret societies.
Mm.
You have of super hidden societies.
I kind of feel that, I guess. I mean,
yeah, well, it's hidden, so it's not the easiest thing to see.
Yeah, no. I feel like I'm actually kind of like. I feel like my main I guess my main antagonism is between like the old elite, like in Massachusetts, and those elites.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, I wonder why.
Who are those things exactly? Like
there's a lot of things that you're very aware of how they do things. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a friend. With not worrying about all the Masonic connections or anything like that.
Right.
It does seem like you did create some of their symbols too, it seems.
Interesting.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'd like to also know about my connections to the moon, because I feel the beauty of the moon, the moonlight. I like to ride the motorcycles during the moonlight. So I don't have that same negative feeling toward the moon.
Yeah.
So I was glad to hear that there was kind of more than one moon, because even talking about the moon, I was like, there is a beauty to this that it adds to the earth. Can you tell me my connection?
It feels like it goes back to its origins of its creation. It's like it's going through this process. It's like the earth is going through a process. You see the earth and see it's beautiful. You see the moon and see it's beautiful. Yes, there's a lot of chaotic things happening on both places, but you still see the beauty in it. And that's what's more. The moon wants to be reminded that it's beautiful. It wants that. That's why you're here. That's why many people are here. It's like even Mother Earth wants to remember. It's like, oh, I'm not all chaos.
Because a lot of times I will go out and just touch the grass and remind her how important she is to us and how beautiful she is and how she has created some of the most beautiful places, and that kind of remind me of like what a paradise would have looked like.
Yes.
So, okay. Thank you.
So your reminders, your energy connected to keeps the moon at a positive energy. If everyone was connected to conspiracies that's out to get everyone, yeah, the moon will not be in the best of shape, even the planet itself. So I wonder why many of you incarnate here, is to keep the beauty alive in all places, of course, in all people too. So
that explains the more positivity I feel that my soul is, and I have such a problem in seeing that people can go so deeply negative and harm something out of, not like war, but like out of pure intention, like I'm just going to get you because I feel like doing it. I don't understand that.
Oh, those are younger souls usually.
Okay.
Usually, when it's not always the case, but usually it's adolescence of the soul is still growing. But normally it's newer souls that are created. Yeah, that's their time to shine. Of course, higher dimensional beings can be the same way, especially when they get everything they want, and then they come here and they're used to getting everything they want. You know how that feels.
Yeah.
So
One more thing about the solar flares that are incoming, the ones that are affecting the human population. Where are those coming from?
some of them are from Orion, Sirius, mostly from Orion, from what I can see. Some of the Sagittarius.
Are
Yeah.
they, some feel negative, some feel positive? Is it to keep us balanced, or is it to keep some of us energized, or?
Well, those solar flares are called upon from your planet. Your world calls, or your human collective does. So you're going to get a little bit of everything, just the way your world's developed at this time. So, and many want the world to turn to a paradise, super positive world, but you have so much here to heal. It's kind of hard to just flip a switch and everything. It's a process if you want to get to that level.
But the direction is towards more positivity.
Yes, and also the other's direction to more negativity. So you're always going to have some kind of push and pull, or yeah. It's just at a different level. You're at a third dimension, then you go to a fourth dimensional version of that when you have spaceships. Instead of having cars flying around, I have spaceships flying around. They're still doing the same thing. And aliens do exist finally. A miracle.
Even reptilians. Yeah.
No.
As we go to the fourth dimension, are we going to, you're talking about how we get all these, our energies and our past lives and everything like that. Are we going to be remembering these, or is it only what we managed to figure out? It's like, is that blockage, are the blockages going to go away in terms of remembering our past and learn what we? Is it? Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, it'll gradually happen. Just like grass grows, you grow, you learn new things. It's the same thing. You just shift. And it's what you need. It's, some beings like to advance a little bit more than others, but then it feels more lonely. It's like, you can connect to more beings and nobody can see what you can see or hear what you can see or hear what you can hear. So someone just stay with the collective's energy. You don't want to advance yourself too fast.
You want to keep one foot on the earth and then our heads in the sky.
Well, people that want to advance themselves more spiritually, depends on the person, but when you feel more, you might be able to be more advanced on a telepathic level, but you're not really connected to the third dimension anymore, and people can feel that energy coming from you that's negative now instead of positive. So you can even look down at the third dimension and see it as a negative, which doesn't help much.
But would you say that as we go to the fourth dimension, our negativity becomes more, I would say, sophisticated in terms of we can't go there and keep our old like things that we hate or things that we think is wrong. We have to go to a more subtle way of viewing negativity. Is that it?
Yeah. Yes, it's a different land you're opening up. Yeah, a new, different world you're bringing in. Yes, it just
otherwise,
you don't want to change all. I mean, you can change in spirit world. You can become more positive there, but even their souls have difficulty with that. So you just live what you need. You are the character you are intended to be. That you wrote for yourself here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you can change it, of course. So.
Back to Dracos, you guys. I view it as a very narcissistic race. Kind of, you guys want, okay. So, it's power, and it's power over people, and it's because, well, you can. I mean, part of it is to help us advance, but you also enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Some do.
Well, it's part of our culture. Like, it's part of your culture watching television.
Okay. So that's your pastime.
We're raised to be this way.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to break away. And many do break away. But it's easier for them to break away, sort of.
So is that one of as we're going towards ascension, is one of the things that you are doing is going towards less control? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it depends. Well, think of this. We might be becoming less aggressive, but there's always someone else that's so aggressive, or going to become, or positive beings that become aggressive because they ran out of positivity. So there's always a cycle. It doesn't mean you're going to be stuck here forever. But yeah, you're unlocking your planet, as you can say.
But so can there be positive aggressivity?
Say that again. What was that word?
Can there be positive aggressivity that comes from a very positive place?
Oh.
Or is it a negative?
It can be both.
It can be both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, even positive beings. Yeah, positive beings can become very negative, and some on your planet are really negative, actually. When I connect to it, some are. And they have groups. Well, some spiritual groups, from what we're seeing, while we're having a conversation here, I feel like some of them are kind of, yes, moving away from the third dimension, but also labeling the third dimension, which isn't very friendly. You know, like a cult-like thing.
Oh yeah, it's like we have to get rid of this. This is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Don't do that. Don't do 3-dimension. Bad.
Yeah, don't eat pizza. Don't. Yeah, don't look in the mirror anymore.
Okay, thank you.
All those things are grounding. This reality is very grounding, even for those in the higher dimension. They made spiritual people how to calm down too. So it's all balance. It's not an easy balance, but it's all balance. Anybody else? Everybody left.
Yeah, when you talk about letting go and of the control and everything, I understand that that's the goal for all of us spiritually. Okay, let go of manipulation. At the same time, I like to see the big picture of this. As long as we are here, I'm not sure about the spirit world, but there's a symbiotic relationship, among all of us. Like nobody is 100% independent, of anybody. Yep. And that's why there is a balance. That it doesn't mean you have to be a slave of anyone else, let others step on you. But when we talk about balance, then there's always going to be dependence on others, and we always look up to somebody or something. So this idea, okay, this is like an anarchist idea. No control, no order, no nothing. Look, I am not saying, of course humanity is awakening and many people are changing. But when we compare ourselves to the animal world, they are much more organized. When they hunt, for example, that do you see like a lion like just ravaging for pleasure like all of the animals? No, they take what they need and they give it back later, you know, when they die, then others also eat this lion, etc., etc., etc. But they are more organized. So if this planet or this three-dimensional world exists in perfect harmony, it will be only for them, not for us, because we haven't learned anything about how to do that. We think we just want to break the chains of everything. No, we are dependent on each other. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why you're dependent of the third dimension. As you go more to a higher dimension, you still have a lot to learn from the third dimension. People want to open themselves up. It's like, why am I not getting downloads? Why is my third eye not open? Well, you're still learning from this reality that many have turned their back on. And when you, and I wouldn't say embrace it, but you know, realize what you're here, you know, accept yourself for who you are, and things will, doesn't mean you have to have goals, but yeah, the animal world is teaching humans a lot. Of course, most humans aren't paying attention. That's why I have little cats. That's why you don't have a big cat like a lion. They'll teach you things really fast, but instead they have the little cats, which makes things a little bit easier, but it takes the lessons a little bit slower. Of course, the canines are there to actually help with help people be social, or help people with anxiety, of course. Of course, cats are the same way, just differently. But yeah, go ahead.
And of course, the religious, you know, manipulation. Everyone talks about, you know, Christians, for example, or every religious is waiting for this Messiah or Jesus or Muhammad, whoever it is, and you think you're awake, you think you're free, but you're still saying the only way you are safe, which they don't even know what salvation means, so whatever, is if Jesus saves me. So I am like lost or in danger unless Jesus comes to save me. And I don't know when people are gonna grasp the idea that that's on us. We have to, you know, like the wisdom and the awakening, the spiritual awakening, you have to know yourself. But nobody is like in these Christian groups that, you know, they are not seeing that. People many people who follow Trump, they're like evangelical, I believe, they're Christian. And yeah, the awakening, drain the swamp, like the demons. Everybody's a demon. They see demons they see demons everywhere. And then the only good thing is Jesus. And that's gonna be a problem one day for them. They're gonna crash into the wall when they realize things.
Well, even Jesus isn't always the nicest guy either. They don't know about that side. You can't talk about that side.
Yeah. And then, okay, you want to see, like, unless something is perfect, you don't trust it. Like my father, for example, you already know the things that happened with my father, but he meditates a lot, even longer than me, many years ago, like a decade ago, and he's just like so suspicious of everything. He says, I only want to talk to God and meditate and connect to God. And I say, yeah, but there are guides also. Of course, not all of them are. I mean, I'm not saying some are bad. I'm just saying that you have to know, you know, who to really trust with information and stuff. But like, he has to know. You have to find who your guide is, and your guides help you with downloads and information. But he blocks all that because he may feel, oh, everything I will receive other than the source is bad or it's manipulated. Like, okay, well, good luck. You know, I can know.
Well, yeah, well, he's becoming kind of like, I mean, he has some Draco in himself. And he's becoming kind of domineering recently, it seems.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
There's also energy of fear of death that's around him, and he's come more at peace with it, but he's still having difficulty with it. So that has something to do. It's like his prayers have not been heard sometimes, he feels. That's another reason why he's changed a little bit, or a lot for that matter.
I think there's a lot of ego in him that doesn't let him listen or like.
Well, that's yeah. It's gotten worse over time, you can say.
So. Speaking of guides, you know, yesterday you mentioned like about the angels and stuff. You know, I've always had this, it's like distrust for angels.
Oh yeah.
Because so I mean, it's not like I not like all angels are bad. It's just the way I have been taught about angels, the way
Yes.
they have been presented, it has become hard for me. You know, has made it hard for me to say, okay, all angels are heavenly, divine, perfect light beings. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And the more I study it, the more I realize the hierarchies among them. Yeah, they are basically armies.
Well, some of the angels. Obviously, even we have to be careful what we say here. That's
Yeah,
bad.
okay, I'll change
But
the
no, here,
I know.
no. Some of the angels are similar to Jesus, like Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, for example, were beings that were actually helping humanity, but then they got pulled into religion, and yeah, they weren't perfect, and now they're stuck here. You can say they're kind of trapped.
Carl did. I said yesterday, but nobody can. I said it yesterday, like,
Yeah.
and they're like dealing with us, and I think they're uncomfortable with
Well,
us.
they have nothing against humanity. It's just the way that they're presented. The way that they're, it's like having a psychiatrist. Just psychiatrist gonna be here 24 hours a day if you want them. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like what? It's like, wait, I didn't sign up for that. Too late. Great. And it's
Yeah.
like for thousands of years.
I know it's a delicate subject, so yes, go ahead.
So that's an example. Or,
Hi.
yes.
So, what will happen to the some
Look,
lower frequency?
we can't hear
Can you
you.
hear me well?
No. It's like a whisper.
All right. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. What will happen to the lower frequency beings, reptilians, and the lower frequency ones, when Earth transition to a higher frequency? I have heard some people saying that's going to happen soon. We're going to have a very big frequency change as soon as like mid-December this year.
Well,
It's going to be a wave.
is Jesus coming too?
Maybe.
Maybe they
Just
left
kidding.
that.
I don't believe in that.
Maybe they forgot that.
Maybe
Well, they
maybe
did.
some crazed minds will see Jesus. I have no idea, but
Well, that's a possibility.
yes.
Well, the lower dimensional beings. Well, we're not saying it's going to happen right away. That's always happening. But a lot of them are. They come and go. They go to other places. They never really vaporize. They go to other planets. They go to other lower realms but they're going to stay here as long as they can until they get kicked out. So we can't take your. It's kind of like a nightclub. It's like we can't take your kind here anymore. The frequency just doesn't work here. They'll just find they're another version of Earth or somewhere else to go. So
yes, it's incompatible with the planet,
yeah.
the planetary system. So
Yeah.
they can't survive here. They actually have to be removed.
Yeah, they feel
themselves.
sick. Yeah, they feel
Yeah.
sick if they stay here. They're not what they used to be. Yeah.
Yes.
So
But
no timing
I've
of
been
that. Yeah, go ahead.
hearing it will be soon though. So soon we're going to have a small change. Of course, it's not a big one.
There will. Well, there's always. Well, we just say wait and see. There's always going to be a frequency change. Your December is not like most Decembers, but we're not saying it's going to happen exactly on that date that they're talking about. But there is a change. We'll just say well, as you can see, your presidential situation kind of connects with that time period too. So
Yes, yes. But I mean, even we are in a fork right now, in the fork of the way. So whether we're gonna go to the right of the road or the left, take a turn to the right or to the left, literally.
you go where you want to go. I mean, if you feel like everything is gone, if everything goes to hell, that means you took the timeline for that. But
Yes.
it's already in motion. Train's already left the building, you can say.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
But I think we are inside of the mountain right now, the tunnel on the mountain, you know? So we don't know where we're going to arrive.
Well, we want to say it happened, we talk about the end of darkness. I mean, a lot of it happened, the shift happened when this year began, as you can see, that you're living
Yes.
in. So, yeah.
I had a related question about the regarding the shift in 2021 and all that. I remember last Sunday, I think it was, I saw like a band of energy that's coming in after the 21st, like a very wide, large band. And I remember hearing something about, I think it was about the Take Your Space program, where there's a group of aliens that had set up these spheres around our solar system to collect and shield against galactic energy. Is this related to that? Like, is this like galactic energy coming soon?
Yeah, galactic energy is coming in stronger here than before. It's like a wave.
Yeah, it kind of feels like there's about to hit some sort of major wave. That's kind of why I thought some people were predicting solar flares.
Well, you can say that's one of the reasons why everyone wants to lock down again. The elites want to bunker everyone down because some of their days are over.
Yeah.
So
it is this galactic band we're heading through. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's kind of like a galactic hurricane coming through. Yes.
Yeah, it does feel like a very strong, like insurmountable energy coming through.
Well, in the past, it happened through war.
Mm.
There's always major wars. Yeah, there's World War One, World War Two. That was your shift, and I moved away from that. Of course, it'd been easier just to see a war, but I don't think anyone would go through that. You're going through a civilization war at this time that you're healing.
Culture war, you could say.
That's been going on forever.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, but yes, there is a new energy coming into your next year. Yes, of course. That's different.
Thinking.
Doesn't mean everything's gonna be perfect.
Right.
Especially when you connect to alien beings and all that, and people get weird with that. Because religious people thought they had the weirdness, and then you guys come in and say what you have to say.
It does look weird. I do feel like a lot of data energy coming in, but it's kind of altered by this new storm.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to expand on that. And some of us are seeing like these orbs or like these eyeball looking like orbs. Is that connected to it?
Yeah, those are
galactic energy.
Yeah, those are Palladian beings. I believe there's others, but some of them so you have fairies around you too.
Yeah, I know my guides are heavily in fairy. I can feel that, and I've always felt that, but it's almost like there's something there about the same time every night that makes sure that we're at home. It's just like checking in on us.
Well, there's a 12-foot tall fairy that's around you at this time. At least one. There's others, but I know you more you hear fairies, usually they're small. This one's not.
Well, this guy feels like a warrior.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Or we can the same thing. Yeah.
I know which one that is.
Yep.
Okay. And then I want to ask about going back to the religion. When Constantine came through and decided to hijack the system and took the older books out of the Bible, one thing that bothers me is the word Amen. And I've heard that is like connected to one of the Egyptians.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it is. It's a being. It's saying amen to a being, or amen, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's so the Egyptians have never left. Yeah, and when they talk about God, some might be talking about Enki, and some are talking about Egyptian gods. But it's mostly Egyptian gods. They had to rain on your parade.
Yeah. Now I see. Control yourself.
that's what I kind of thought when I heard it. It felt right, and it feels like that when society finally opens up their mind enough to see that, hey, because I live in the Bible Belt, Southern Baptist area, that when people open up and they learn about, hey, this was hijacked, and they learn about, hey, when you say amen, you're not really talking about God and Jesus. You're talking about another individual, that we're going to have all kinds of problems.
And
There's almost like a reality check that'll come through.
Well, yeah, and the Ra plays a big role in that too. Egyptian Ra, sun god. Yeah, he's connected to.
Yeah,
Amen.
And I still feel connected. Am I connected to him as well?
Oh yes, and there's a positive side to him, but I mean, because he's been hijacked also. Yeah. The elites want
kind
to,
of like in the.
Yeah, well, the elites wanted to connect to the old world
Kind of,
where the programming began. That's where
I want to move forward. I don't want to go back and repeat everything that we're repeating. And sometimes I feel like in certain situations that we get into this cycle and we just keep repeating it and repeating it. And the only way to break out is to understand history, to understand, what happened before, and understand that I think one of the reasons that we're all here is, like you say, America is a melting pot. If we can't learn to get along in this big melting pot of America, how are we going to get along with people, in outer space?
Well, yeah. Well, your Bible, one of your tools, and other religious tools too. But Bible, for example, is why are you looking at the Bible from thousands of years ago to help you in your daily life now? It's an old book. Put it aside. Of course, because the programming is there. So they're trying to keep it alive. If people read it, they have to understand what the hell they're talking about. So that's how the elites program society, of course, through religion, through everything, anything they can get their hands on. So,
yeah, religion still calls the New Testament new after 2,000 years. That's what kind of turned me off. Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of the word amen, I had my suspicions about the manipulation behind that word. When we're saying that, what are we creating energetically?
Control. It goes to the being or beings of what they set for. It's basically kind of like when you say amen, it's like you're giving your energy away.
Right.
It's like you're sticking to the program. Amen. I'm part of the program. I agreed to it. It's like a contract. So yeah, you're agreeing, and especially when everyone in church is saying the same psalm, or everyone, it's like a seance going on. So yeah, it's programming. The whole Bible has been programmed. That's why all those words are put exactly where they need to be. So
I've got a question about another manipulation, the manipulation on the atmosphere and the chemtrails. What's the reasoning behind that, like the agenda? Because some days it's like hot and cold. It feels like when they're really dumping it on us, they're like prepping for like some ritual on their end. But I'm not quite sure, why is it so excessive? Are they just kind of messing with me when I start erasing them out of the sky?
Well, that's part of it. They don't always know why. They just do it. They feel like they have to create these things. They have to chemtrail more. And it's a spiritual thing, but also it comes from the bosses, of course, too. But the bosses feel the spiritual energy. They just chemtrail the hell of it. I don't like what's going on. I don't like where humans are thinking. Let's chemtrail it more.
One after another after another. I mean, I think of the pilots, in these planes, that have, given into the program. But I was like, what's the purpose of manipulating us and keeping us in this position? Is it just to keep us subdued, or what are they trying to do? Is it a transhumanism kind of agenda that they're getting us ready for?
Well, it's also to create timelines.
All right.
So it's there to keep. It's a program that humans through nanotechnologies for even health, cause health difficulties with people, also to get into the mind. This is like radio signals that are going on that you don't hear.
I see it with my.
Yeah. So it's just to get people. When the elites say look right, they want everybody to look right. If you don't, obviously, they know that everyone's going to do that. But they want people to see things as they want them to see it.
Right.
So
make more people to the narrative.
Well, think of it as like you're like watching a play. You see the people walking around doing their thing, and then you have the chemtrails, like turn on the smoke machines. It's like a version of a smoke machine. They keep the movie going. So
there's something else that they're blocking from coming in. Rays from the sun, or.
Oh yes. Well, the sun, it gets manipulated. Yeah, the energy of the chemtrails, where the sun goes through, programs the human also. And the sun's been programmed itself too, not entirely, but the sun's very difficult to program. So they program your skies, your atmosphere, so your moon.
The light, right.
So,
yeah, 'cause they always target the sun. That's how I first, came across my activation when I was sun gazing, and they just draw a line right in front of the sun on you.
Yeah, they just stop. If they just stop chemtrailing, things would change dramatically here. The food would be a lot better. Everything would be improved drastically.
Which collective is primarily connected with that agenda? Is that human?
It's more of your elites. It's like their version of the crop circle. To them, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, driving cross country, you come into cities and you see the same dome of fog over each one of them.
Especially Los Angeles, which is done on purpose, obviously. Yeah, because that's programming society. So Los Angeles, they want to pollute it like you wouldn't believe, as you know.
Yep. All right, thank you for that.
Yes.
I noticed that sometimes if they chemtrail over my house, the next day it rains, or there might be a meteor shower that's coming through. One time they chemtrailed it and it was very, very cloudy. It didn't rain, but we had tons of meteor showers that were tons of balls that were coming through. And it was almost like, okay, we're going to chemtrail this because we don't want everybody to go nuts, thinking that, we're up here doing like some kind of battle or some kind of war. Someone else brought it up that long ago, before they could chemtrail that people would see it and get upset and get all excited about what's going on.
Yes, it's a program that's been done, I believe, in the 1960s, most likely before, but it's like in the 1960s when they developed it. Through the Nazi energies, nothing new there. Even a lot of your government officials are Nazis, and nothing's ever changed. I think you've read that book already. They haven't made everything public, but even the Nazis themselves did this to their own people, but they did it differently, of course, but not through chemtrails, but they did the different types of poisons. And that's basically your elitist. Your World War II is your elitist just melting pot. They just could not believe. Because a lot of different alien beings came in to assist with that inventive cycle, if you want to call it that. But that was a way in. So, and now you have the benefits of it, sort of.
One of the things that Abraham Hicks said is about food. They were talking about food, how if we had a belief in this food makes me fat, that food makes me fat. If we think it makes us thin, then it will make us thin. Can that be applied to chemtrails? Can we kind of go, okay, yeah, I know they exist, but these are not going to do that to me?
Oh, yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you can disconnect from anything or any type of programming or anything. Yeah, even you can watch manipulative news and not be manipulated by it. So same thing goes for chemtrails too. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Do you see the activity with chemtrails toning down in 2021?
No. Yes and no. Mostly no. No, the elites are kind of scared right now. I mean, I know people probably heard that, but they kind of are.
Yeah, it feels like they're playing their cards, all of them.
Yeah, they're running out of ideas too. They're not going to destroy themselves. Sometimes they're wondering who's going to come and take them out. There's always that question of that. They have it's unknown right now for them.
Are there people in positions of power that know the dangers of what they're doing to the atmosphere that can really do something about it?
Well, there's people in your government, Congress, but they can't say anything. They'll lose their job or lose their life. So they have to be really careful. It's like a death sentence if they do anything on that.
Jeez.
Even president. I mean, not that they're going to take out a high-profile official, but yeah, it's not good.
I was just looking up seahorses, and I was wondering, the song I made, it was channeled before that. It's connected to the sky being that they can transform into humans, birds, and fish. And is that kind of related to this Greek creature I've seen? It's like a horse with a fish tail and wings.
Yeah, that's more of a lot of your alien beings are very diverse. When they say alien, they mean alien. So yeah, you're connected to a race of beings that they're not really talking right now, but they're very connected to you, though, it seems. They're very rare. Feels like they were a creation of someone else too. So obviously, but I feel like they're still experimenting, it seems. With you connecting to them, you are helping them in their experience. Well, let's put it this way. So you have a seahorse being. Never had a being that's, or a seahorse race. They don't know what human is. They know what humans are, but they never really experienced it. So you might be one of them, and you incarnate on Earth, like this world or another world, but this one speeds things up a lot faster. And you show them what it is like to be human. They're there for, because they're your buddies, so they're around you, so they can say, "Wow, is that really going on?" So another reason why you incarnate. Oh, there are worlds with no incarnations either. They just live forever. Immortals. This universe is a big incarnation universe, or definitely this world. But there are places where you just live forever. And you make it work. You change your hair every once in a while. Every 1,000 years, you might get a haircut. Change your gender. And just keep on rolling.
There's a picture of a grave of a human being with a seahorse about the same size of that. Is there anything to that picture? Because I know I'm connected to the seahorse as well.
I mean, the seahorse is the size of a human, you mean? Or
yes. Like they were buried together.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
Okay.
Seahorses are very kind of androgynous beings. They're just very kind beings overall. They're like horses of the sea. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Can you speak more to my connection to them?
They're part of your power. Why you connect the way you do. Because you're not connected to the negativity of the world, you're connected to the positive side. That's the seahorse connection. So It is an unusual connection for most, but it is a place of tranquility. I believe it goes into Sirius, but it goes into other places. But Sirius seems to be one of your connections there.
Okay, so that explains, because I love water.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Blessings.
Talking about power, I was just talking that I seen about women and men and power, how power can corrupt. She used the example of Jean Grey from X-Men. My question is on with you guys. You're a very masculine power race.
Yeah.
How do females in your race, how do they deal with that aspect of the power?
Well, they try to dominate it.
Oh, okay.
They get tired of it, but they're not much different than the male as for aggressiveness. They know their place too. They know that they have power over the male, that they can, some of them feel like they're more powerful than the male, and that's true. For many of them. The whole thing about us being equals doesn't always work out for some females. But it's only because the males have caused so much difficulty for them. Like, lay those eggs, stay at home. Don't come out until I get a male out of that, or a next king or something like that. There's some of that talk going on. But some of the females have just absolutely had enough of, So that's very connected to your world. You have that here, some of that, especially in the kings. Those are the royalty races are very similar. So some of your musicians, some of your rappers, Reptilians.
Okay.
So
yeah, this subject is really like controversial too, because like having a female president and everything. Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm just I feel
that time yet.
like there's I'm not gonna say it. Bye. I'm not gonna say it. Bye.
Yeah, a female president right now would probably be worse than a male president right now. They'll just, I think they need to calm down first, and then
I'm not sure about that administration. That's why it's not against the Democrat Party. It's against the group.
Yes. Where is their administration there at all? Your shadow government seems to be running things quite well, doing a bang-up job and revealing themselves. I mean, obviously, a lot of people just want to see us as blue and red and all, but the shadow government is really saying, "Hey, we're here too." And of course, the media is going to say, "Oh, there's nothing to see here." Of course, they're going to do that.
The world's on fire, but there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, there's nothing to see here. There's no corruption at all. Oh, all those are just rumors. Just keep your head in the sand.
And nobody, like all these headlines about the human trafficking, they being taken down, and the media doesn't care. They prefer to talk about Rudy sweating like hair dye, for example. That's ridiculous.
I think you're. Well, yeah, the media's gotten more childish because they're running out. They're running on steam. I mean, who do you think is paying the media? The human traffickers are paying the media.
Damn.
Which is kind of scary when you think about it.
If you will see who funds all of these people, like if you see the top, it will scare us all. And at many times, like if there's like for example, two groups, against each other, the same people fund both groups. So like, it makes me like, okay.
Well, now we're going to keep.
I'm not talking about the actual parties. I'm talking about other areas, not politics, basically.
Well, yeah. Well, like your search engines, we're going to keep this general, or news that talk about human trafficking. I mean, at least they're doing something, even if it's not on mainstream news, like on the TV. But at least they mention, at least it's showing that they're trying to show, hey, we have a soul, instead of just black it out altogether. So eventually that will start to change. But obviously, those that are running your media don't want them to talk about what they're doing at this time.
Yeah, it's reported because like they have to report it, but it is not promoted. It is not. Yeah, that's the problem. And people, I mean, humans have this attention span of 5 seconds. You know, like all of these things happened today, and then after a week, nobody remembers. You know.
Yeah, well, you see your Disney, and your media is promoting your Disney, as a kid friendly, which is just a loop of manipulation. Yeah, it's kind of but it's nice. The fairy tale they built is nice, but that's kind of falling apart right now. It's been falling apart for a while, but you're going to go more disclosure of what's going on here.
But by the way, I have in Puerto Rico, we have this observatory in Arecibo. It was one of the biggest in the world, and it broke down recently. And after that, they said, okay, it has to be repaired. Then last week, oh no, we're gonna close it down for good. I'm like, the energies I got from that is, no, they're gonna use it for some kind of secret project. This is what I feel. Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not gonna be used publicly, but they'll still use it.
Yeah, they closed down all the tours. That's all they did because this whole observatory, the strategic location, is not suddenly gonna stop being important today. The island didn't move to another continent, So it's just they need to do some kind of project, and when we see not just Arecibo but other areas with this these observatories, and NASA, they're talking about stuff that is changing or signals that are coming in. So I think they're just getting ready for something, and they don't want people to find out. Maybe
it's gonna be a while for anything to really come out publicly, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Your next year is going to be a change in regimes. So you can see that's a version of it. A lot of the stuff's going to the deserts at this time anyway. So
how you mean the deserts?
Yeah, the deserts are just a better place for them.
Oh, okay.
Well, less people.
Right? Less people reporting and taking pictures.
Less people walking around, yes. Getting selfies. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and Google Earth, they keep blurring shit up. Like, okay, I gotta blur this area. You're allowed to see this house, but not this house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a weird off-topic question, but it kind of goes into the the way the world is right now with powers that be and the elite system, and there's this one comic from Japan that I read called One Piece. The artist Chiro Oda, he touches on a lot of these things going on, but he puts it right there out in the open instead of how our elites are behind the shadows. I'm just looking to see what is he tapping into, and he also has a narrative that focuses on like a mystery around the moon as well. So I feel like he's tapping into higher levels of information that he's channeling through, and I'm looking to see what he's actually connected to.
Is this like a MAGA?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So they say what you want about China and Japan. Yeah, they can. They're allowed access. See, they're putting out as a cartoon or for kids. So anything for kids, as you know, or for adults, whatever. It's they're allowed to. So that's disclosure. So it is those things are happening.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So it's happening right now that they're just and offering it as entertainment. It just kids if the kids are taught to pay attention to really what was going on, even adults, it's like, geez.
Yeah, because they throw in some deep things as well with human trafficking and how it's real big business. I mean, it's so big that it's paying everybody off.
Yes, it's bigger than drugs, definitely. It's unfortunate. Well, human trafficking goes into politicians. I mean, some of those politicians are human trafficked, and they're easily controlled.
And they don't care who's paying them.
Yeah. I mean, the politicians themselves have been victims of human trafficking themselves. Some of them have. They've been programmed and groomed for their position.
Yeah, I had a real vivid dream that I was at a baseball game, and a helicopter dropped down into the middle of the diamond, and then George Bush, Henry Kissinger, Bob Dole came out of it. And then I was just kind of getting sick of it because it was just like like them parading out in the game. So I went into the back and I went to the stands, and a little girl, stopped me that was all dressed up and dolled up, that had something in her hand that she was using as a prop, and she said, "I know you," and I said, "Where's your mother at?"
And that was it.
Oh no, I just got a call right now. Sorry. Well, she took me back to a table where there was a bunch of little girls all dolled up the same, I guess, waiting for these politicians to come,
Yeah.
That's why they were there.
Mm-hmm. That was in like another dimension, but it was happening here in some form or another. Yeah. So you have your politicians, they're obviously covering everything up as they do here. Hey, look at us. We're all wonderful. And they'll look at behind us or anything like that. So, yeah, to cover up. Your media is too. I'm surprised your media was. Well, your media was there too in the dream, technically. Yeah. Those in your media that are sellouts, yeah, they're going to get some karma for all this. And they're kind of going through it right now. So.
Yeah, I see Anderson Cooper on CNN, and he just got this look of disgust on his face.
Yes. Well, because that's Anderson Cooper is one of the most programmed reporters out there. He's programming the people, but he's been programmed himself. And even he can tap out of his program too, by break out of it. And he's kind of losing his mind now from what we see.
Yeah, it's not even news anymore, so it's not really worth watching, in my opinion. So
no, that's a Rothschild project. I know they call George Soros on everything, but who controls George Soros?
Right, and with the big pockets.
It's all Rothschild, Rockefeller. It's always going to be them. Of course, they throw everything on Soros to he's the one, because they don't want the light. I mean, when has your big media ever mentioned Rockefeller? Or never? Hardly ever. Unless you're conspiracy theories, then that's different. So those are the ones that pay the bills.
Yeah, thank you. Blessings.
Just a quick follow-up on Bobby's comment about Japanese manga. I think he's right on track, because Japanese entertainment, especially the video games, they reveal a lot of things. I grew up playing Final Fantasy, and at that time I was 12 or something. I don't know. I just played this game, and lately I've been watching the videos again and the walkthroughs. And I'm just like, oh my God, all this stuff, actually, it's real. Or I've been tapping into it. And really, Japan and the saga of Final Fantasy, these people are not playing. When they are really disclosing things for decades. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's for their that's how the elites keep their sanity. Well, one way how they do it, keep their karma. But they still get karma. They say it's giving the karma away by revealing and all that, but they still, and that's an Orion. The whole thing is all Orion, where they have to show what they're doing. It's all connected to them. Because if you're going to imprison a world like this, you got to tell people what they're doing. So if they can take the prison off and let you figure things out, that would be much better, but they're not intended to do that. So they allow astral downloads to come through. So they're very connected to the astral realms on multiple levels.
Especially Final Fantasy 8. People love 7, but 8, it has a lot of things that are really intriguing. The other day I watched one of the cutscenes, and I remember there's this part where they open this portal with the moon, and something is coming from the moon, because it's so hard to say it, but there's this god being trapped in the moon. And then they awaken it, and everything goes to hell. But I'm laughing because I'm nervous, because I see that reality, and I say, why am I looking for this after like 20 years?
No. Yeah, those are more outlandish realities that are going on. But it is connected to those are beings channeling through video games and movies, trying to speak to you, trying to get your attention.
And the names of the the monsters and the beings are the names of like a lot of characters in our mythology. So there has to be some kind of truth in
well, they're trying to. I mean, that's the only way they know how to awaken people, because they can't. Even if they did it out in the open, nobody would. Their politicians aren't going to, or your media isn't going to just start telling you to look at Final Fantasy a little bit differently.
And the song of Final Fantasy VIII is about awakening, and it talks about the seed children. Like the star seeds wake up, and how you say the last boss, the big villain is Artemis, which is Ultimacia. So all of it sounds a little too close to home, and it's really scary.
Yeah, it shows that that's the war. Well, that's what's happening in Astral.
Yeah, something.
That's that's your fourth dimension, but most of your astral is coming through. So it shows a 5D reality your world is capable of. That's what the manga is talking about. Higher dimensional worlds where a 5D reality is really existing and connecting to you at this time.
They even have a shape-shifting politician in the game, and I'm done.
Actually, Trump has shapeshifted a couple of times, but not many people have noticed. It does go into a reptilian energy, if I can see sometimes. It depends.
I see like I've seen Dracos in the White House. I would not say who, but someone close to the VP, right? He is definitely. Oh, it's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well, your tall whites work with much of your government. I believe you've heard rumors of that, and that's true. Much of them are with the White House too. They just appear to some of your White House people. Usually it's underground. 90%. It's always underground, or it's in a facility where they're not going to be seen. And so they're already aware of their existence, though. They're not going to disappear to just anybody. It has to be someone that already knows of that they're around. They'll just appear. Like you're looking through files, and they'll just appear right behind you. Obviously, they don't leave those memories there, depending on the person, depending on the situation. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, especially now, like with things. Yeah, there's an alien war going on, as you can see. And they're waiting on who's going to reveal what. That's why not much information is coming out right now. They can only speculate at this moment. It's better for everyone right now.
Yep, exactly. It's not predictions aren't really the beneficial at this moment.
No. Just making healing at the moment to the end game, and there will be there will be a reveal, a major one. So just go about your day, do your thing, not worry about it.
Right, exactly. I have a personal question, just real quick. Ivan was doing a scanning on my chakra, doing a clearing. He came across something in my heart chakra. He found a snake queen from Orion. Mm-hmm. Would you be able to help me learn a little bit more about that connection?
Well, it's like a sister energy. It's one that feels like one time you controlled that being. At one time, you're like a king, and you controlled that being. Because you were all that. And it wasn't Orion from what we see. You just had control over others. Yeah, Orion is a place where you just went all wild, it seems. One of the worlds, at least. It's like, here's a world, do whatever you want. Okay. And then they became more controlling over time because you didn't always agree with the people, and the people, it seemed like you created a warrior race there, from what I can see.
You see what species?
It's reptilian, but it seems like it's human reptilian. It's not fully reptilian. It is a human race, but it has a lot of reptilian connected to it.
Because I know I like a connection with the insect world as a king, so there's like a combination of connections with Orion.
There's a lot of Naga beings connected to that world.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. After I heard of this snake queen, I went and found the Naga collective that lives subterraneanly, and I was looking to see Also, since you brought them up, their connection with the Indian gods and the Egyptian kings with the cobra on the head.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of them went from Orion to Sirius, and from Sirius to Earth. So, yeah, it's like you're one of the founding fathers of a lot of Naga beings, just different type of races that we're not seeing anywhere else.
Like a giant snake.
Yeah, it just different. You're like inventing a lot of different beings. It wasn't all about being aggressive and powerful than others. It was just you're just creating new races there.
Yeah, I was getting the feeling of that, but never really committed to, going deeper into that. But now I'll sit back for a little bit and see what's happening. Yeah, because whatever pops up, when I need it to.
Of course.
All right, thank you for that.
Yes, blessings.
Blessings.
I wanted to just ask a question as well. What I'm connecting to at this moment.
What are you connecting to?
At this moment, yeah.
One moment. Some Orion beings that are connected to ancient Egypt, but has an ancient, like ancient Italians, actually. Ancient Italians are connected to secret societies. You also have a connection to Leonardo da Vinci.
Interesting.
And that's about his inventive side. I believe you were alive during that time period, actually. I believe you actually knew him. Now, you might have been a midget person. They're not me. I feel like you were kind of short.
It feels like on this earth are taking a lot of lifetimes that are a bit more in the background or what didn't they make it. So
it feels like you're an assistant to him. So one of your one moment. That's what I see right now. It seems like something that you have to heal in that time. Renaissance time period seems like something you have to heal there. That's what I see.
Gotcha.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, this should be the last one. What else you got? Yes, next.
I wanted to know what energies are around me.
Fairy beings. A lot of fairies.
12-foot ones?
No, they're not really saying. But there's a lot of fairy energies there. There's some reptilians in the woods in your area. I'm not sure if you're by the woods.
Yeah.
One moment. You actually have. I guess you have a lot of Draco around you right now because I'm here.
That's all right.
Like, who is this person?
Well, this morning I was connected to Dracos. It was very interesting. Yeah.
Also, see some
actually.
see some Yael. Also, you're connected to.
Okay.
If you're aware of them.
No.
Well, you can look them up.
Okay.
Yael upon our first contact. Not necessarily on this world, but on other worlds. He's on first contact on other planets. Of course, you might not remember that right now.
No. Oh no, I'm enjoying my 3D life a lot these days. So.
That's all right. Well, some things are going to start opening up for you, I feel.
Oh yay, okay.
It's not necessarily to grow up quickly, but it feels like you're going to. Things will start to shift. So.
Yeah, no, I'm resigned to letting it take its time and trying to enjoy it. Trying to enjoy this as
But you have been part of first contact on other worlds. That's one of the reasons why you're here.
Oh, okay, good.
You're a human. Oh, but you're doing other things though. So, all right.
Okay.
Let's be going now. Wait, I've said enough. So, just be nice to reptilians. They'll be nice to you. Doesn't mean they're going to let go of this planet anytime soon. They're working on it. Well, they're not human. They don't feel like humans are ready to take over just yet. So, but it is weakening their connection to Earth, of course. All right, blessings to you all.